Welcome to Arrow on the Air. I'm Clayton Hester. This is the Southeast Arrow's weekly news roundup, part of the Arrow Podcast Network. We encourage you to visit Spreaker.com and find the Arrow Podcast Network to find all of our Arrow Podcast Network shows. Meanwhile, be watching for election coverage from the Southeast Arrow by visiting us on Facebook and following us there. In today's first story, we hear about how one former Southeast athlete is using her skills that she's gained here at the university to inform her current work. Clay Harrell has more.
Former Southeast volleyball player Emily Baguetto is using her experiences at Southeast to train younger athletes. Baguetto is working at D1 Training Fox Valley and Aurora, Illinois, and a big point of focus at D1 Training is the importance of responsibility and commitment that is required in athletics.
We do talk a lot at D1 about all of our character words like discipline, responsibility, commitment, all those things that it takes to get yourself to the next level, not only athletically, but just overall.
Baguetto, who won an Ohio Valley Conference Tournament Championship in 2019 with Southeast, said her favorite part of working at D1 Training is the ability to influence a younger generation of athletes. Baguetto specifically credited the weight training she did as a member of the Southeast volleyball team as her influence to become a trainer. D1 Training has a series of 50 gyms across the United States and was originally founded in 2003, with the headquarters being in Franklin, Tennessee. Reporting for the Southeast Arrow, I'm Clay Harrell.
Members of the Southeast community held a moderated discussion on LGBTQ identity, equality, and voting philosophies. The Arrow's Josh Seabaugh has more on this story.
The 2020 presidential election is different from the elections before it, and for many Southeast students, it will be the first presidential election they will be taking part in. When running for the leader of the United States, candidates have to appeal to specific groups of voters. One such group is the LGBTQ community. To discuss the upcoming election, an event called the LGBTQ Caucus was held. On October 14th, the LGBTQ Resource Center hosted the LGBTQ Caucus. The event took place in the terrace room of the UC, and students used the opportunity to discuss the election, candidates, and political issues. Carson Lopez, a graduate assistant of the Resource Center, wanted the event to be a formal way for students to talk about their beliefs.
The important thing for me was giving students an opportunity to gather and discuss ideas and opinions in a format that's more realistic, first of all, and more engaging.
An important point for those in the LGBTQ community is representation, and not just gay rights such as marriage, but also trans rights. Nia Martin, a Southeast sophomore and one of the students who came to the LGBTQ Caucus, said that representation and understanding is very important in today's culture.
I think there needs to be a lot more representation, but I think there needs to be a lot more understanding from how different people's lives work to be able to create a country that works for everyone.
Voting for the 2020 election will mark the first for a lot of students. With the LGBTQ community being a big part of SEMO, the nominee who best represents the community will be getting their vote. For the Southeast Arrow, I'm Josh Seabaugh reporting.
For our next story, the Arrow's Madison Abernathy has a recap of the Arrow's debate.
The Arrow hosted their first ever debate on October 14th. Students moderated the debate, and student representatives from the college Republicans and Democrats debated ideas on a variety of subjects. Some topics included COVID-19, absentee voting, and the Amy Coney Barrett Supreme Court hearings. According to President of College Republicans and debater Reagan Tibbs, despite their differences, it's important to show where the parties can get along.
We all have our own, our own policy preferences and our own political differences. But I think the debate was a good way to show that we can still come together on a lot of different things.
The debaters agreed everyone needs to get out and vote on November 3rd. With such a controversial election, both sides cited voting as being a citizen's most important civil duty. According to Tibbs, voting is a luxury we shouldn't waste. The debate can be found on the Southeast Arrow Facebook page or by searching Southeast Arrow on YouTube. For the Southeast Arrow, I'm Madison Abernathy.
Next, the Arrow's Hannah Radden shares about a local photography exhibition and what it took to make it possible.
While standing in Cape Girardeau, the images from a photography exhibition seemed to transport the eyes of individuals across the United States. Brian Allworth, outdoor photographer and first alert meteorologist for KFES, displayed his photographs at the Art Council this past weekend. The exhibit, titled 30 Years of Photography, presented images from the excursions he has taken. The exhibition provided an outside look to photography that made it seem you were looking straight through a window, with the subtle pops of colors and calm black and white images. Most of the photos taken by Allworth were from the states of Illinois, Tennessee, Arkansas, and many more. He said one of his favorite shots displayed in the gallery is a black and white image from a little canyon in Utah. Many photographs shown were used with a film camera. While Allworth enjoys using film cameras, he has found struggles along the way.
Digitizing old film, negatives, we're talking black and white negatives in some cases and slide film in some cases. It's not a trivial thing, it's expensive and it takes time. So it has taken a long time for me to build up kind of an inventory of framed and printed and digitized old film shots.
The exhibition will display his work until October 30th. For more information about the Southeast Missouri Arts Council, visit their website at capearts.org. From the Southeast Arrow, I'm Hannah Radden.
That's it for this week. Thanks for listening to Arrow on the Air, part of the Arrow Podcast Network. Check out other Arrow podcasts and Arrow videos by visiting southeastarrow.com/multimedia. Until next time, I'm Clayton Hester.